ethos of Puravankara CSR has always been skill, time, resource, and money. So it's not always been just about helping monetarily. So the idea was there's immediacy, and we have the bandwidth that can help ease the efforts that the authorities are putting in at this point of time, and maybe help them channel it towards something that needs to be done.
Hi everybody, good evening. So we are continuing our COVID discussions at 7 p.m. And today, this is something where everyone can take part in it, every industry. As I told you some time ago, this is a cross-industry group. We have people who are lawyers, doctors, corporations, design thinkers, writers, marketing, outreach. All of them are part of this. And the whole idea is that how can we bring different perspectives of attacking this, and how do we get over this issue when we all come together. And to make this happen, one of the key ingredients of this is us, people who live, people who, day to day corporation employees, and people who live in buildings, and people who live in apartments and homes and all that stuff. So we thought that it will be very interesting today to talk to someone who comes from two different perspectives. One is from a corporate perspective, and also another one is from a real estate perspective, or somebody who makes sure that all of us live together harmoniously and well through huge real estate projects. So we have with us Minol Ajekar. She's head of CSR and corporate communications at Puravankara Group, and we thought we'll bring her on to talk about what she's doing. She got a degree from Melbourne, and she worked in the financial sector in Australia, and then she came back to India. So let's see what she has to say. Hi, Minal.
Hi, Lakshmi. How nice to see you.
You too. So thank you for joining us. And when we became part of this group, Dr. Vishal told us about you. You're one of the first people who told us about. Because he was saying that when the group came together, we were trying to see how we can help the government in a way that the number of steps that they need to take to solve the problem are minimized. So, you as the head of CSR for Puravankara Group, you guys approached and said, hey, what can we do for the government? So tell us, in what way can corporations play a role, and especially the role that Puravankara Group has played in how we are dealing with COVID?
Okay, so I'll first of all thank you for having me on this platform, and Dr. Vishal's very kind. So let me answer this in two parts, Lakshmi. One part is, I think the ethos of Puravankara CSR has always been skill, time, resource, and money. So it's not always been just about helping monetarily. So that's an ethos that the company has been carrying for 45 years now. So that was the main essence for us when we decided that there is an unprecedented crisis. How are we going to help? And I'll tell you a little story. I think sometimes providence and things just work out. Dr.
Yes.
Vishal happens to happen to be the neighbor of one of my senior colleagues. So when they were talking, and that connection just happened, and it was meant to be. So while internally we were discussing that there is something that we would like to do that will go beyond just the standard corporate approach to CSR. And Dr. Vishal turned up on the scene at the right time, and he said there is this COVID consultation group that is working really hard behind the scenes to ensure that things are taking place at the right time and in the right manner in the government, in the state of Karnataka. So that's where we jumped in. But more than anything else, I think the idea was immediacy. when you're dealing
Right.
with something that you have no benchmark for, and you have absolutely don't have any data models of past or future. So the idea of immediacy, and that is there something that we can do that we can ease up the bandwidth of the healthcare workers, whether we can ease up the bandwidth of the authorities, the government, who are already overextended at this point of time, and
Correct.
organizations like us, corporates like us, we have a thinking man force. We already have a well-oiled machine in place. So the idea was there's immediacy, and we have the bandwidth that can help ease the efforts that the authorities are putting in at this point of time, and maybe help them channel it towards something that needs to be done. So
Right.
that's where we decided that if we can help with the entire supply chain end to end, and
Mhm.
step in and really ease the efforts that the government is putting in, that's where we can make a difference. And of
Right.
course, the COVID consultation group, which is these really
Yeah.
bunch of illustrious people who are all working together to see that we come out of this unscathed. Um,
Yeah.
we helped. We did what we could, and here we are today.
So can you tell us a little bit about what, because you guys are doing test kits, I mean, just tell us a little bit about what did you decide to institute toward, and what are the general change?
Okay, so I understand about 3 weeks ago, there was a piece of news that went viral. There was a brilliant lady, a scientist, who made a testing kit, gave it to for approval, and then had a baby girl like 8 hours
Right.
later. So I mean,
Correct.
I want to doff my hat off to her, because she is really the face behind the kit. So
Mm.
when we read that story at our organization, when all of us read it, we said, "Wow, this is so something has happened. We've made a scientific discovery." And
Mhm.
when we understood that the government has given it approval, and it's going to work at a fraction of a cost of what kids are coming from overseas, so obviously the whole make in India and a lady scientist, both those things spoke to me also.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it was Providence that Dr. Vishal at that point said that yes, we are trying to do this, and he put us in touch with the people in the supply chain in terms of
Mhm.
the medical supplier, the approvals. We of course we also worked our good offices, and spoke to the authorities, whether it was the transport and the airlifting. But
Mm.
Lakshmi, what's the single most important thing that came out from this thing was everyone jumped up and said yes. There was
Correct.
no so, and that's so heartening to see that at this point of time, when you do require people to say, yes, we can, and everyone
Yes.
actually said, yes, we can. So,
Yeah.
that, and that's how it happened. Having said that, I think the labs are, without going into medical part of it, which I'm not really well versed
Yeah.
on, I think the lab is really working 24 hours in to fill the supplies across the nation, not just here in Karnataka. And the
Yeah.
test kits will be coming in batches. And yesterday, the first batch of test kits were handed over to Rajiv Gandhi Institute, which is one of the first institutes here in
Yeah.
Bangalore to do the COVID-19 testing, and who are equipped and trained. And they
Mhm.
are a premier virology and epidemiology institute. So the first batch went there, and as and when the kids come, the COVID consultation group, who has their chain of networks into everybody in
Correct.
the state of Karnataka right now, depending on the need, especially in the districts which are away from urban Bangalore. I think these kids will really help in the penetration and the training also of the
Mm.
staff that are there that need support. So the COVID consultation group will help with the tacit knowledge that is needed, and they will also ensure that these test kits are going into districts and going into places that actually need it. And just today, a few hours ago, we understand that our quarantine period is going to be extended
Yeah.
nationwide. So right now, I think there's a very timely intervention, because the authorities will start identifying hotspots, and we
Yeah.
hope to direct these kits towards these hotspots so that we can the consultation group, I believe Dr. Vishal was on your platform a few days ago. I'm sure he
Correct.
spoke about the 3T method, you know, test, trace,
Correct.
and so I think that's what
Yeah.
we hope to do. Test, trace,
Right.
and treat, and
Yeah.
that's what we hope to do. And
Yeah.
I think the only thing the COVID consultation group and Puravankara as a corporate is concerned about is, and we will ensure that these tests are absolutely administered free of cost for everybody, because this is not the time. This is not the
Yeah.
time to get into things like that, and that's where the group will ensure that the kids are going to the right places and impacting the right people.
And you know what I want to point about this is that this could have, in a otherwise scenario, you would have written a check to the government. Then the government has to go buy the checks and then ship them. Where you guys came in and said, "Don't worry about it. Just tell us where you need the checks. We will, fund them. We'll create them. We will ship them, and we'll get them to where it needs to go." So it reduces the work for the government.
Absolutely.
To do so many
Absolutely,
steps.
and that's
Unique
absolutely the
about
goal, because they are doing so much right now, Lakshmi. They're doing so much,
right.
and
Yeah.
they're almost all authorities, whether it's the government or it's the police force, whether it's our doctors, they're all going beyond their call of duty. So, I mean,
Right.
whatever impact we can make as corporates is what we should try and do. We should try and do.
The thing, there's another side of you also. You have daily wage workers who work for you. You're in the real
Yes.
estate business.
Yes.
You have, first of all, how many daily wage workers do you have? How do you, and they're all migrant workers. So
Yeah.
how are they all staying put, or have they all gone back to their villages? Tell me a little bit about how many of them do you have and how are you dealing with them?
Okay. I mean, that's a great question, because the construction sector is one of the largest employers of the migrant worker force in India. And I just, the one thing that worked for us is that we planned and we started early at Puravankara. So
Yeah.
a couple of us, including me, I wear a hat of, I head the communications for the division.
Correct.
Also. So I really had my ear on the ground, and I was really tuned into a lot of things that were happening around India, whether it was, and especially Hong Kong and Singapore and Spain and Italy.
Yeah.
So, and having a few doctors, in my family, some of my cousins are doctors. So I sort of got a picture, and I think we rang the alarm bell early in our organization. So even before we went into the 50-50 mode in Karnataka, we had already planned for the lockdown. So, and we were, and our founder, chairman, he was very, very, very clear that our workforce is vital for us, and their safety, their security is the most important thing. So at this point
Right.
of time, we have almost 7,000 people across four locations here in Bangalore, and I can tell you, and I was telling your colleague Vipasha also earlier that we are getting daily photos and videos from the sites, because that's how we are monitoring. Nobody has moved, not a single person has moved. We are ensuring that there is daily supply of provisions. We have teamed up with a large wholesaler here, so to ensure that the supplies are reaching the site and reaching the labor camps, and they don't have to move out at all. There is a designated medical officer in charge for each and every camp, and there are temperature checks happening every 3 hours, because we do realize it's a dense population in a smaller area. So we need to ensure that there is disinfectant and sanitizing happening 3 times a day. And I'm just so I was very delighted that my colleagues who are actually working on the project side are able to make such a difference. Lakshmi, what was interesting? What was interesting for us, and what was a great learning for us? And I've been talking about this to to my peers also, that when there was a sense of security with our
Yeah.
worker force, and there was food security, and there was mental peace. No one really felt the need to move.
Okay.
But no one,
Okay.
yeah, no one really felt the
Nobody
need
has gone
to.
back. Has no
Not
one
one
gone back to
person.
it?
Not
Okay.
from our company side, not one person. They're all
Mm-hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and they all know that we are in this together, right? We are an organization and we are in this together, and we've assured them that abhi band hua hai, but kabhi to shuru hoga, and when it happens, we need their support also. I
Correct.
mean, interestingly, I think. Sorry,
Yeah.
please.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was like Deepak Parekh, the chairman of
Yeah.
HDFC. Interestingly, he has termed it a human economic crisis. What we
Yeah.
are going through, and that for me is so interesting because it is that today, while all of us are stepping up and a sense of sharing and the
Mm-hmm.
humanitarian efforts that you are hearing about over and over again, you realize that
Yeah.
it is a symbiotic relationship. After a few weeks, we actually need their support to help build the nation again. So that's where we
No,
are.
the thing is, they all are supporting their families back home, right? So they have to send their wages back home. So when work has stopped, are you continuing to pay them, or is it a percentage of salaries? Or how are they taking care of their families back
No, the salaries have not stopped. Not
home? Okay,
Purbangra Group, and in fact, in March we got it a few days earlier because we were very conscious that
right,
there will be
yeah.
extra expenses that need to be taken care of. So,
Hmm.
and in fact, Lakshmi, I mean, I just not just us, the industry,
Hmm.
all the large contractors in India have taken that stance that they're all looking
Yeah,
after their employees. They're all looking after the labor force. There's no pay
mhm,
cuts. They're ensuring food security, and
yeah,
they're saying it's symbiosis. We are in this together. We'll get back together.
right, right. I mean, it's really great, and there is. I mean, it not only you have the day wages, you have on the other hand residents also. I mean, I live in Whitefield, and I pass Marthahalli, and near Purvanchara there is like a township. Literally, it's a town. And are they seeing in the residents? Is there an unrest, or I mean, there have been some incidents not here. I haven't heard that about people worried about doctors living in these apartments. Some saying we don't want the doctors to live there. All this crazy stuff going on. But also to keep the residents contained, to keep them, follow the rules and all that stuff. So give me a little bit on the side of how you're managing all the residents, or has it been fairly easy?
So, while see, I think we're all trying to look at the broader picture, right? We're all trying to look at the broader picture. There are some
Yeah,
of us that have the resilience and the infrastructure to be the support system for others, and that's where
correct.
corporates will play a bigger part. And that's where corporates will play a bigger part. Very interestingly, you mentioned the society in Marthahalli, though that's one of our older projects. We
Yeah,
people have been living there for over 2 decades. I know someone who lives there, and they sent us this. The residents got together. They all chipped in. They ensured that there were food packages for a little township that is behind in
uh,
Marthahalli. So
mm,
we heard that story from that
yeah,
association, and a lot of other associations that are also following suit because they were like, okay, there is a
yeah,
building that is doing it, and we of course told that story to all the
right,
other
yeah,
buildings. Of course, there
correct,
there
correct.
are there are newer buildings where people have just moved in. The associations have not formed as yet, and that's where our customer relationship department has been absolutely stellar. From small things like because us is a long term investment, right? You start purchasing today, and it's for the
Yeah,
next 4 or 5 years. You're in it. You developed a relationship with the organization. You developed a relationship with the people there, so we know people's travel history. So our customer relationship department has been actually reaching out to people who've traveled and said, "Are you okay? Do you need something? Can we approach?"
mm,
And what we have seen is most of our customers are very happy to have doctors.
yeah,
Amidst
right.
their building. I mean, I would
That's
too.
the way
I
it
would
should
too.
be.
Yeah,
We should
I
be
would
thankful
too.
to them. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and what we have been doing, of course, is we've been disinfecting and sanitizing twice a
mm,
day, and we keep those channels of communication open. So we thanks to technology and WhatsApp, there are groups that are being formed, and the residents are told in advance, okay, this is happening at 11 o'clock. Don't stand in your balconies. Go inside. Keep everything shut. We are disinfecting. And we've also sort of identified in which blocks and in which apartments there are senior citizens who might need help.
Right.
So we have some people who got permission from our organization to help such people. So where we've identified where they're senior citizens. So we've either done a model where we have worked with the association to ensure that the senior citizen is taken care of, or like I said, the people are all coming out to help each other. It's not every time we ask for something or we say we need to do this, 10 people are like, let me do this for you. So that's just been a huge thing.
Yeah. And I think, even for all of us who are living in places, this is the time to be there for other people, because in the sense at home, etc. Now, just out of curiosity, is the one in Marpally your largest?
No, it's one of our marquee though. We have bigger projects.
How many apartments are there?
In Marthahalli, you were talking about a time when I was still in school, so I'm going to venture a guess. I think in between those two there is a Purva Riviera and there's a Purva Fountain Square. I think there are over 1,000 in that little cluster. In that,
right, that's why it's like a township. It's like you need to have a mayor of that township. Actually, it's like 1,000 apartments. Literally 3,000 to 5,000 people living there. So
from what I understand, it was one of the first buildings in Marthahalli. So
correct. Yeah. So what are the other things you're doing to? You talked about you're disinfecting and doing all these things. Is there anything else you're doing with the residents? I mean, are you thinking of asking if the residents want to contribute? I mean, is there a way you can match funds to what the residents want to contribute to your CSR? Are you thinking of anything like that?
So, after we, became a part of the COVID consultation group, and we said, okay, like I said, the immediacy was for the testing kits, and we said we will intervene, timely, and we'll do that for you. And we were sort of there has been internal discussions of what we want to do. I think one thing that and we were not. I mean, like till now we didn't know if we are still going to continue lockdown, or now we know the lockdown will continue. So I think one thing that we would really like to do is expand our net of feeding people. So we obviously have the infrastructure in place because we are providing for 7,000 labor. So we are at this point of time exploring if we can expand our net, maybe work with some of the organizations at the who at the grassroots are actually providing food or rations or help to people who need it. So I think that's something that as a corporate, but I think that's something that we will want to discuss with our residents, because we will have to actually form sort of a volunteer group here, because we will not be able to get everywhere. But if they can chip in, and I think the other thing is if the consultation group comes and tells us that there's a need of what we've been understanding is PPEs, personal protection equipment for our healthcare workers. If that becomes a need of the hour, and if that needs, that's something we would like to intervene with also. So these are the two things that we are considering for our long-term help, because I think the PPEs will be required for more than just the next 4 or 8 weeks. It will be something that So and I mean, as a corporate, whether it's Puravankara or any corporate, nobody wants to just step in and step back. We would like to hold hands. We would like to see we are a part of this community, and we want to be able to grow and thrive as a community together. So these are the two things that we'll.
Yeah, because I think it's an interesting model, because literally in each of the locations, I mean, it's you and every other real estate companies, especially when you're into residential real estate. Commercial, everything is quiet right now. When you're in residential, you have the opportunity to reach at least 10 and 15,000 families. And everybody these days want to give something, but they don't know where to give.
Absolutely.
There's of how do I know this will get to the right place? So if you said something that whoever, it's not compulsory, but whoever wants to contribute, we can channel it through what you're doing, and in some way you make it very transparent where the money is going. It may be
Great
an
idea,
interesting
Lakshmi.
thing for your residents, because when you have 10,000 families, if each of them give even 1,000 rupees, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot
Uh,
of money.
yeah, and but I think everyone wants to give, but wants to be assured that the money is going to get to where it needs to get to. So I think that could be it. Is there anything else? I mean, how has it been personally for you? You have studied, you worked in Australia, you came back, you've been working in India, and I'm sure you're in touch with your friends there and checking what's going on. And as how has this been for you?
One thing I think, if I was to just compare between Australia and India, I think we have really been very proactive and in actually trying to flatten the curve and be circuit breakers. Because while we were in lockdown, I still saw photos of crowded beaches in Australia. We still saw photos of crowded restaurants in New York, and it was all
Yeah.
surprising us. So I think there we have done well. For me personally, of course, real estate there is no work from home. It's
Correct.
traditionally
Yeah.
not an industry that works
Yeah.
from home. So I think what has been interesting is to see our entire company, grapple with, "Arey, Zoom call kaise karte hain, and where to press the
Correct.
button," and so that it's been really cute and endearing, and to see the younger colleagues reach out to their older colleagues and give them direction before the actual
Let me
meeting.
teach you how to do this, like how my
Yes, yes.
son is doing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so that has been really very very amazing. And
Yeah.
another so for me, I think also I mean I'm also a people manager. I'm also a people
Mhm.
manager. So I think one of the things we for important for all of us, and I think it's a great byproduct of this crisis, is everybody started talking about mental health and how is
Correct.
this impacting people, and what
Hmm.
people's anxiety levels, and how are they coping with it. Maybe everything seems fine, but
Hmm.
you can attest to it, Lakshmi, working from
Yeah.
home and having to do domestic chores and trying to balance the two is it's not easy. It's not
Correct.
easy.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
what we are trying to do, engagement programs. We are currently running a Purva Master Chef internally,
Uh-huh.
saying that
Okay.
send us pictures of your food stuff. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Another very interesting development for me personally is to actually see shy, reticent colleagues of ours reaching out and saying, I need help, or can I help someone? I have some free time.
Yeah.
The whole, I think, okay, India, we're all about the concept of giving, and we've been taught this since we were children. But to see it in action right now has been extremely gratifying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I get photos from my colleagues who've joined a bunch of volunteers to go feed stray dogs. There are another bunch of
Hmm.
colleagues who are cooking food and giving it to the cops, who are patrolling
Yeah.
the area. So,
Yeah.
and everything is so inspiring. It's just so inspiring. So I think while there is this anxiety, while there is this crisis that's looming over our head, I know
Mhm.
it sounds very cliche when we say, think positive and, be strong. But I think more than that, concentrate on the goodness that is coming out of society. Is
Right.
something I keep telling myself, that concentrate on the goodness that is coming out of society and try and imbibe
Correct.
that. And try and imbibe
And
that.
one more thing I want to tell you, one of our Inc. fellows has started a company a while ago called Your Dose. And
Okay.
it's a platform where you can call for psychological counseling. It's anonymous, so you
Okay.
can tell colleagues. It's like initially it's free for just online. You pose questions, you get an answer, etc. And then if you want, you can schedule sessions, because I think mental health is going to be the biggest emotional. Is going to be the biggest burden we're going to carry through all this. So just an FYI for you.
Thank you, Anna.
So
I will pass the message. I think
yeah,
open and honest communication. I think whether you're
yeah,
you're you're the leader or whether there is somebody reporting into you, if you can be open and honest with each other, there's absolutely no harm. And this is to especially all the young people, in any organization. If you tell your boss, I really need to go run my washing machine, and I will be back after half an hour, the boss is going to understand because they're doing the same, So
I know we're all like juggling all these things. So thank you so much for taking the time. Just to wrap up, I mean, it's been wonderful to see your group step up and take this on. And someone commented that, Arpit is commenting that Pura MasterChef sounds interesting. So I'm sure you develop a few more things to keep us all occupied. So thank you so much, Mrinal, for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Bye.